The noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, the podcast.
It's the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. I am Peaches, here by myself, of course. Viktor outs for the entire week. So you got me. If you don't like me, I'm sorry. I apologize. I do have to do this show in addition to my afternoon show. So technically, I got to do like 6 hours of radio. Yeah, it's quite a lot. Quite a lot of talking every single day, hopefully for your entertainment. I've been scrolling social media left and right, and sure enough, all the stories are about Taylor Swift announcing her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. The announcement was made on Travis Kelce and, of course, Jason Kelce's podcast, New Heights. The album is available for pre-order on her website, and I guess her website crashed. The release date is yet to be confirmed, but there was that countdown clock for August 12th at 12:12. Not sure if that means noon 12 or if that means midnight 12. Should we go to TaylorSwift.com? I'm sure a lot of listeners hate me even mentioning her name right now. Pre-order The Life of a Showgirl. You can get it on cassette, vinyl, CD with poster. So the countdown clock is done. It was midnight the night prior. So, okay, that makes sense. But I was just talking with Josh from Classy 97, mentioning that the New Heights podcast, with that specific Taylor Swift episode, because she's going to be a guest on the podcast, or she already was a guest. Now they're going to release the episode tomorrow. It's going to be one of the biggest podcasting episodes ever, just because it had Taylor Swift involved with it. Could we try getting her on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem? Have her whole, I was about to say beehive, bayhive, whatever Beyonce calls her fans, but the Swifties. For some reason, I couldn't think of that at this moment, but have all the Swifties listen to us. That'd be great. Get like 1 million downloads for one episode instead of, one or two, and it's mostly just me checking it out, making sure I did okay. So I guess I have some competition for Peaches Needs a Pal. That's been a series on our social media pages at KBarrett 101 FM. Of course, I'm in on the joke. Tons of people don't really know that, I don't think. Just because I've seen comments pop up here and there. I've seen some sarcastic ones, some funny ones. People that are in on the bit, I get those. But at the same time, I'm sure people are like, man, Peaches goes to a lot of places by himself. But in all honesty, the Weird Al Yankovic one was hilarious just because Jade told me to go to another suite that was to the left so he could pan over to me sitting by myself in one of the chairs. So I just invaded on somebody's own suite at the Mountain America Center, just opened the door, walked in, sat down, did the quick little video and got out of there, But imagine signing up for an anti-loneliness event and then being the only person to show up. That's what happened to this 21-year-old girl, Josie Stinson. She currently lives in Salem, Massachusetts. Josie says she signed up for a local anti-loneliness club meetup, hoping to make some new friends. She paid $12 for a ticket that promised dinner, socializing at a restaurant. However, when she arrived, no one else was there. She says the restaurant staff had no knowledge of the event. Josie waited alone at a 6-person table, eventually receiving a free cake from the sympathetic restaurant owner. At least I haven't gotten to that point, right? Josie shared the experience on TikTok, where, of course, her video went viral, nearly 1 million views. Says that since she shared the clip, many people have reached out to share similar stories and offer support. And I'm sure now something's going to happen, some big online event, help Josie find a friend, something like that. I was kind of hoping the Peaches Needs a Pal videos would become that viral, Have Weird Al even comment on the latest one. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, it's the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. I am Peaches now with Starset Silos. It's KBarrett 101. Whenever I play a video game, I don't necessarily focus on the soundtrack itself. And so I came across this particular post from this user asking, which single video game do you think has the greatest soundtrack of all time? And for me, growing up, I played a lot of those wrestling games, WWE, Day of Reckoning 2, SmackDown vs. Raw, 2007, 2008, played all of them. It showed me a lot of metal tracks that I still listen to this day. I've played like one or two of them as my pick of the day. Back when I first started Peach's Pick of the Day as an afternoon show feature, one of the first songs I played was Breaking Benjamin Polyamorous, the one that that was featured on SmackDown versus Raw. I also played Blood Simple, Dead Man Walking. That was another one of those, I think that was a Day of Reckoning song, if I'm not mistaken. But sometimes I'll hear a song in a video game and go, oh, that ties the scene together. But I don't necessarily focus on the soundtrack unless it's like a sports game. And then I just, if I play NBA 2K and I look at the soundtrack, I'm like, never heard of these people before. I usually mute the entire soundtrack when I get a new NBA 2K video game. But I did see also, by the way, I had it temporarily posted, but then I had to post something else, so I deleted the post. But Madden 2026 is set to have Electric Callboy on the soundtrack. That's right, the Electric Callboy. They made a post about it saying, we can't believe we're actually going to be on the video game itself. Who else is going to be on that soundtrack? Because clearly whoever's in charge of that soundtrack listens to metal. I thought I did see a couple others. Like, they did a great mix of attracting everybody from all walks of life, because you have Electric Callboy, you have some 311 in there, you got some Judas Priest, Limp Bizkit, but then you also have Travis Scott, you got, a bunch of other people in there, Future, some other bands. Lizzo is on that soundtrack. Electric Callboy and Lizzo in the same playlist. Wow, this person was really all over the place. But looking at this thread, which single video game do you think has the greatest soundtrack of all time? Halo 3, I see here as the top answer. Donkey Kong Country on the SNES. Absolutely sublime is what this guy wrote. Well, of course, you also got to think about Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Weren't a lot of people extremely upset that the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater game didn't have the original soundtrack? The one thing I was very excited about that Tony Hawk sort of hinted at is that he's always down to remaster Tony Hawk Underground. And that by far was my favorite. Besides that one, Tony Hawk Underground 2, I think that was the one I played the most. And then Tony Hawk American Wasteland. That's what introduced me to Frank Black with the whole I Want to Live in Los Angeles song, Weezer, Beverly Hills. I always play one of those songs as I make my way back home for a week. I play that as my pick of the day on the first show that I'm gone, so I might line one of those up. I'll figure it out for the August 29th show. Anyway, yeah, if you want to answer that question can be found on Reddit, r/gaming. Which single video game do you think has the greatest soundtrack of all time? All right, let's wrap up the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem here with another question I saw. What do rich people spend money on that we could never imagine exists? And most of the time when I go onto YouTube, I watch celebrity house tours. I see their crazy closets with all the different clothes that they have. It's like a store. They have them on shelves. All of that fun. They have shoes upon shoes upon shoes all over. It's funny when you see an island pop up in the middle of the closet and it has like a candle on it, some books on it too, has some specialty items. That's when you know you've made it, when you have like a giant closet that's bigger than the K-Bear studio. Probably bigger than, 2 K-Bear studios. What do rich people spend money on that we could never imagine exists? Some guy said, I did some work at a guy's house who had an underground parking garage installed under his library so we could have more guests over. It fits 80 cars. 80! Why do you need that many? I've never understood that. Maybe because of tax write-offs, maybe because of the technicalities with that, sure. That's why a lot of people have Range Rovers, because it's like a heavy car, so you can use that as a tax write-off, something like that. I don't know. But I just can't imagine having the need to have that many cars. I like to have one thing that gets me from point A to point B, and that's it. Houses, too. Why would I want multiple homes? Maybe I would get like 2. I would have my main house and then like my little vacation home somewhere else that I can take the family to. But other than that, I don't have like 3, 4, 5. Have them all across the country. I think most mega famous people have multiple estates all around the world. And then you would forget where things are at. Like, oh, where did I keep my nice shirt? Oh, it's in the Italy home. where do I keep? There's some celebrities like Shaq who has multiple estates. He has tons of all of his NBA awards in multiple houses. Like, oh, where's my 2004 MVP award? Oh, that's in Miami. I'm currently staying at my San Diego home. Something like that, you know? A household chief or chief or staff, a chief of staff. A household chief of staff, not a butler. A logistical CEO for their personal lives who manages the pilots, the yacht crew, the multiple estate managers, the nannies, the art curator. Imagine having somebody who buys fancy art for your home. And also that person makes sure the fridge in their fourth home is stocked before they arrive. Just have somebody doing all the grunt work for you. Well, it's not necessarily just one person. I'm sure it's a team of people. Wasn't I talking with, I don't know if it was Viktor or my dad that I was talking to about Howard Stern and how he has a team of like 65 people that work on his show and his show alone. 65 people. What do they all work on? Like, I do my best to do all the stuff I do here as one person. If I had 64 other people trying to, promote Peach's Pit Party, write segments for me, because I know Howard Stern has a team of writers. I just hop on places like Reddit, talk on the air. It might come out great. It might come out terrible. You might be secretly going, Peaches, shut up, play the music. I'm about to, because I'm about to come back. Well, I'm about to leave, then come back for Peach's Pit Party at the start of the 2 p.m. hour. I will see you then. I'll leave you with Avatar, Captain Goat.
The noon hour of Madness and Mayhem is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com.